everyone, this is StariAri and I'm here to give you guys a pretty much pick a card reading. So what we are doing today is we are using the Galactic Heritage card deck by Lisa Royal Holt, and you're gonna choose a lifetime within one of these constellations, okay? So this is gonna be card number 1, card number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. All right, so you guys go ahead and take your time and choose a lifetime, okay? And then we'll go ahead and explain what the lifetime is and who you were this lifetime and pretty much what you're learning now at this very moment, or what cycle you had to learn regarding or connected to this lifetime, okay? So we're gonna start with number 1 right here. So whoever chose this chose way showing from the star system series within the constellation of Canis Major, okay? So in this lifetime, what I'm gathering is that you were among many Syrians who were trying to lead their society into the ascension, okay? What I'm getting is this lifetime was merging from the 3rd dimension, so it's kind of like what we are doing right now, into the 5th, okay? You were a Syrian starseed. Specific location, what I'm seeing was an aquatic realm, okay? So an aquatic being. They're amphibious beings, these guys. What I'm seeing is that they could live in underwater, or they could actually come onto land. So it's kind of like a mer person that I'm seeing, okay? So this is what this lifetime was, or how you look like this lifetime. And the whole purpose of this way showing was that you were trying to get your people to balance themselves completely and get into the pretty much the path of the master. So like an ascended master, okay? So these beings mastered a lot of their vices. They balanced a lot of their polarities a long, long time ago. But they were on the road towards becoming ascended masters, okay? Meaning that they would ascend outside of the physical body into the collective consciousness of the 5th dimension energy of Sirius specifically, okay? And then from there, they would become guides for anyone who is physical at this time, etc. Okay, so that is what this lifetime was about. So that's pretty cool. So next one is number 2. This one is Orion, and this is Leap of Faith, okay? So Orion constellation, let's hone into this energy. Okay, I'm seeing a being that is green, like a light green tint to their skin with golden hues, kind of like a tattoo, like tattoos all over their bodies. It's kind of like, it's like all over their arms and their hands and their faces, but these are symbols of warriors, okay? And then there's another type who is a light green as well, who has tattoos but silver hued, kind of looks like a hologram. And these are the healers. So what I'm gathering from this lifetime is that you were one of the warrior classes who was in love with a healer, okay? So that leap of faith was you trying to overcome your fear of rejection, as well as overcome your fear of being ridiculed or judged by society standards at that time, where the warriors never mixed with anyone who was in a warrior class. They had like their own group, you know, that they had to marry into. And so that leap of faith was, okay, we're going to go against the grain, we're going to go against societal standards, and we're going to commit to each other and create our own standards and create our own life without worrying so much about other people. So that is what the leap of faith was, is that romantic affiliation with somebody who was not accepted in your societal class, okay? So this is kind of like similar to what a lot of people go through in this lifetime, where sometimes they have lovers or they go for someone that they're dating that is not completely accepted by maybe a person like a friend or even their family or even their social group, you know, stuff like that. So that's what they needed. Whoever chose this card needed to learn that it doesn't matter what other people think. As long as you are happy, and as long as you guys are both happy and are creating a harmonious life together, then nothing else should stand in your way. Okay, so that's all for this one. All right, next is this one, number 3. Andromeda, and this is actually not the constellation, it is the galaxy, okay? There is a constellation in this galaxy, which we are in the Milky Way galaxy, but this is the energy of the actual galaxy, which is our neighbor to like about 1 billion years from here, or a million light years from here. And so it's the biggest actual galaxy next to us, and according to a lot of astronomers, it is about to collide with us. Not anytime soon, but what they're seeing is the movement of, or the growth of the galaxy, in which it's growing, or expanding towards our galaxy, and they're calculating that it's gonna actually collide with ours. Not sure when, but it won't be in our lifetimes or our grandchildren's lifetimes or anything like that. Anyway, so you have chosen change from the Andromeda galaxy. So let's go ahead and hone in on that energy. I'm seeing a being that is like a purple tint, kind of like a lilac. And I'm seeing kind of like an observer of the species, okay? So these lilac purple beings are observing a different species, like writing things down, drawing things out. They're kind of like those nature watchers type of beings. So, okay, so that's the lifetime. You are a purple lilac being, observing, writing things down, gathering information, kind of like an anthropologist, okay? So I'm getting that the change was that your species wasn't able to move beyond physicality because there was key components to this, okay? The whole thing about wanting to ascend, it is about integration or even communication and having established relationships with other beings, okay? So the Andromedans in this lifetime were isolationists, meaning that they didn't want to interact with other species because they were afraid that the other species will not accept them, or they were afraid that they might, interfere with the species' free will or choices, okay? So they, for a very long time, they were thought that they were just collecting data, being historians or anthropologists and stuff like that, without interference of or interacting with the species that they were observing. Okay, so that was a big thing that hindered them or kept them from ascending, because they were not interacting in any way with a different species that was lower, I would say more primitive than they were. So they could easily, they were able to actually interact and help them out through, teaching them about, different technological advances, medicines, things like that, but they chose not to for a very long time. So they were stagnant in their growth because of this. So in this lifetime, the change was that you decided to not be stagnant in your growth, and you decided to interact and decided to help and decided to be a teacher of these other beings that were more primitive than you were in this lifetime, okay? And this is what you're doing here too, where it's not that they're primitive, it's more like their knowledge isn't as vast as yours, okay? So you are here to teach. You're either a school teacher or a medical professional, or even a spiritual teacher, okay? So this is your path in this lifetime, and this is where it's coming from. Like that fear of you stepping into these roles of teaching is because of this, okay? So now that you know, you're able to hone in your energies and integrate this lifetime so that you will step further into your power and further into your path of being, a wisdom giver or a teacher, okay? Or however that looks like to you. All right, so that's it for that one. So this is number 4. All right, so this is a lifetime in the Pleiades, and the Pleiades is found in the constellation of Taurus, okay? Let's see, sharing cultural ideas. All right, this lifetime, let's see where it's at. Okay, so this is an exploration expedition. I see the Pleiadians, they're tall whites, which means that they have blonde hair. Very tall, because I would always describe the Pleiadians as looking at the characters of Thor, but their technology is much more advanced, meaning that they don't have a need for armor or any of that stuff, because they have like these really like skin tight clothing that protects them. It's like an armor, okay? And if you guys don't know this, you could actually look up a documentary about a Pleiadian that actually came to visit Eisenhower, our president. You could Google that. It's gonna be just Google Pleiadians and then you'll see all this information. But they actually exist, okay? They're human. They look human like us, okay? But they're just a little bit, taller and whatnot. So these specific Pleiadians, they're on an expedition towards the star system of Zeta Reticuli. Okay, so what they were doing there, it was observing as well as reporting as well as communication, trying to do a diplomatic type of thing with the Zetas, okay? The Zetas are different species. They are a reptilian species as well as a gray alien species. So they were trying to establish a peace treaty or kind of like a diplomatic connection with these beings and sharing their own culture and technology with them in exchange for the peace treaty, or the, I guess you could say, like agreement. All right. So in this lifetime, they're showing you guys exchanging information and being at peace with one another. And this is way after the wars and all that negative stuff that happened. This is talking about like fifth dimensional energies, okay? The technology is energy based, okay? It's not physical, okay? So this is something that you kind of are doing now, where you are sharing technology or advancements or ideas to become more of like a, I guess you could say, establish a community awareness, or even friendships, or any type of business associations with people, okay? So what this means is that when you share a part of you and your culture and what you've been taught, you are able to then receive information from whoever it is that you're sharing with. So it's kind of like the student-teacher type of dynamic here that you have, where you're teaching, but you are also becoming the student because you're learning. So this is a lot of traveling right here. This is like you go out of your way to go to different countries, learn from different people and cultures, as well as like even up the street. Like you are very open to learning. You're very open to just wanting to be around people and just wanting to get to know who they are and how they perceive the world. And in so many ways, you bring up alliances, as well as you bridge any gap between any issues of diversity that you may be faced with. And so this person that I'm seeing, or this energy, is very diplomatic person, very friendly, has a lot of acquaintances and friends. So that's pretty cool. This is what you're learning, okay? All right. Next one is number 5. Okay, let's go ahead and put that there. And this one is Arcturus, or a lifetime in the star system Arcturus, with the constellation of Boots, okay? So this is a cosmic midwifery. So this is like a doctor or a nurse type of energy, okay? Let's see. I see a person or a Arcturian being, very tall, slender, with green hued skin, kind of like an emerald green, with a third eye that is shining radiant, like a light is beaming out of their third eye. Oh, okay, so this is a member of the Arcturian High Council of Light. Okay, so the Arcturian High Council of Light they're just a healing group, okay? So they go and send out healing all over the universe, all over the galaxy, whatever. They're also teaching us right now how to remember our own healing abilities, okay? As well as any type of medical information, all right, regarding our physical bodies. So you who chose this card are in training, okay? You are a healer in training, according to the Arcturians. In that lifetime, you were one of the many members of the council, of the High Council. So they're showing me an integration activation or DNA activation to establish the link to that lifetime into this one, okay, or to integrate it into this lifetime, so you could start remembering your gifts, your healing gifts. So the midwifery aspect thing is that you're birthing in, or you're assisting with the birthing in of the higher vibrational frequencies into the mother, which is Mother Earth. And so they're showing that you just know how to do this. Like you just know how to connect with grid work, or even integrating energies of higher frequencies. Like you feel the shift in the environment that you're in, like, oh, there's a shift, or why does it feel this way? Why do I have ringing in my ears? Why do I have, you know, like I feel like I'm like floating, and you're not doing anything, or you haven't taken any type of medication or anything like that. So this is awesome. This is something that is very important work. And so when you are ready, or when you are willing, you could call in these Octarians to help you or assist you with integrating this information, or you could book with me with a mentorship, and I'll teach you how to do this too. Okay, so that's awesome. So that's what the energy is the healer of the pretty much Octarus energy. Okay, all right. Number 6. Okay, we have Vega. Okay, this is a star within the constellation of Lyra, and this star is the brightest star there. This is where a lot of the harmonic energies came from, of balancing of spirituality and physicality. Okay, so this says feminine principle. So that is what you were highlighting in this lifetime. Let's see how this Lyran looks. Okay, female lioness looking humanoid being. Okay, so the female lionesses, the humanoid structure that they have, are perfect to harness the feminine principle or feminine frequencies. They were priestesses, like high priestesses, as well as healers, and they did hold a high position in just being leaders of this, okay, where they taught how to harness the divine feminine within everyone. Okay, so this is what you are doing here, is you tend to be very feminine in your ways, where you are very connected with your emotions, even though you may feel like they might be detrimental at times, but that is just the whole point of it, where you're trying to teach people to be okay with connecting with their emotions. Also, you're very intuitive, okay? You just know things. You just know when somebody's in a bad mood. You just know when they need a little bit of mentoring, or you know, some type of praise so they could feel better. You just know things, okay? Very psychic, highly psychic. Also, you embody the feminine principle. Even if you're a guy, or, you know, whatever, you still embody that feminine principle, because you're in tune. You're in tune with your intuition, you're in tune with your emotions, and you just know exactly what to say to make someone feel better, okay? So this is what the lifetime is. A lifetime of all of this energy, of all of this, are these beautiful lessons that you were teaching. You're bringing that back here, and you're doing the same with other people. You're helping them harness this energy to balance themselves, you know, because especially for the masculines or the men, where they need to balance their divine feminine within them, meaning they need to be in tune with their emotions, they need to be in tune with their intuition, and trust that they are doing the right thing, you know, not too much logic. It's more about balancing logic with intuition, okay? And that's what you're bringing to the table in this lifetime. All right. This is the final one, number 7, and this is Lyra, and this is Seeds of Polarity. Okay, so let's go ahead and channel this information. All right, I see a kind of looks like a Anubis type of being, kind of like a dog being, like a wolf being. Looks like a humanoid, okay? Wolf, humanoid, or werewolf if you want to call it that, or lichen, whatever. They existed in Lyra too, okay? Or they actually still exist, but non-physical. So in this one, you were bringing forth a balancing of polarized ideals, okay? So when we talk about balancing polarity, that means balancing the yin and the yang, or the divine feminine and masculine. It also, however, means to balance the ego mind with the higher mind, meaning that we're balancing the material with the spiritual here, okay? In this lifetime, that's what you did in order for you and many, many others to assist with the ascension process for your people, okay? The ascension was very hard, where you had to clear a lot of societal constructs that were unhealthy, meaning a lot of depravity, a lot of greed, a lot of just war and famine and just abuse of one another. So you were a high priest or high priestess. They're showing me at this point in your evolution, because you are one of many who evolved before society evolved. Because of your training, you merged masculine and feminine energy, okay? So it wasn't like you're completely one sex. So that's what you're trying to bring back to this world, is merging the masculine and feminine energy, not completely, depriving one energy over another, even though you're in a physical body that looks like a feminine or a masculine, you're bringing back that balance, as well as you are kind of like, they're showing me like a person who likes to be involved in social justice reforms. So they're showing me you taking your time with helping other people understand what's really going on beyond the illusion of this world, okay? And this means you're talking about things that a lot of people don't know about. This means you're talking about theories that a lot of people are kind of like, what are you talking about? So you are bringing to light the dark, okay? You're bringing to light what needs to change in society, what needs to be done to make this a more harmonious life for everybody. So this is what you are. You're kind of like a social justice warrior, because that's what you did back then. You helped people understand this, you helped people heal this, and then eventually your people ascended, okay? All right, so that's all I have. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this made sense. And let me know what you guys think of this type of reading, if I should continue to do it or not. Thank you again so much. Bye-bye.